We received these chicks a few days ago. So here's 50 or so of these chicks. For housing, what you can build is, basically what we did is we just built a frame with some wood and covered it up with cardboard. And right now it's too cold for the outside, so they stay inside this home-built cardboard box. This one back here is for our other 100 orders of chicks that we supposed to come, but they hasn't arrived yet. So we just have these 50 or so chicks. Here's our water feeder. You can buy these at any local pet store or live feed store, and that's the food bowl. And for bedding we use these are pine shavings. So what you want to purchase is the pine shavings. They are not thinly shaved or crushed. You want these bigger pieces of shavings, as big as you can. Usually when chicks are the first few days, they don't know what to eat, so they basically will eat anything, and they end up eating those fine shavings. So the bigger shavings, the better.
Bigger shavings, better.
Okay, and the first thing you do when you first received the chicks is every chick you wanna dip their mouth right into the water and leave them there, so they figure out that's how they get water. So you do that to every chick. You do that with their food also. Dip the beak inside the food. Dip their mouth into the water, and that's how they'll learn that it's water and that's food. So that's what you do for these chicks when they first arrived. When they first arrived, they're really stressed out, so what you need is you want to leave the lights on before they arrive, so it's all nice and warm. Make sure the water is warm. Make sure you have food and water ready.
And food there, and food there. And the water there.
And not all chicks are gonna make it, but do your best. Most of them should survive. As long as they have fresh food and water, they should be fine. So for this first few weeks, we have the lights, 2 lights on to keep them warm. The lights are essential for the baby chicks to survive. If it gets too cold, they'll all huddle up and eventually will die, but if it's warm enough, they'll be able to survive. We have 2 lights on. When it's too cold, they usually gather up, but when it's warm enough, when it's too warm, they usually will sleep away from the light. If it's too cold, they'll actually sleep right under the ray of the light. So having lights on to keep warmth is essential for baby chicks to survive. This one bowl right here is we add a little bit of water to their food, so make it a little bit finer for them to eat. So that they all like the finer food for now. These crumbs over here are a little bit bigger, and the chick seems not to like it as much because it's a little bit too big, a little bit bigger for the mouth. But usually at this age, a few days old or even a new new hatched egg chick should be able to eat crumbs this size, but it seems like they tend to like the smaller, finer food better. So they're all gathered back over here to eat. So here's the chicks, all 50 plus of them. Usually will feather out right about 5 to 6 weeks. That's when they are able to go outside. If the weather is warm enough, usually shouldn't take them out unless the weather is above 65 or 70. But after 5 weeks to 6 weeks, they can go out into their outdoor coop, because most of them should be feathered out by then at 5 to 6 weeks old. But for now, the light will be on for 24/7, and you just want to regulate the heat so it's not too hot or too cold. So what we did was just put a cover on top, keep most of the heat in.